I wanted to do a simplified, shorter version of how to edit your oil table, especially for dialing in API. And if you take a look at my screen, what I've done is on view 2, I've set up temperature so that I know I have a live temperature. Liquid int, which is my corrected sound speed, which I need for my table, and the measured API. If you go into the main menu and go down to Setup, Local Display, you could find View 2, set it up for 3 values is fine. Medium temperature, liquid int, and standard API gravity. And that's how you would set up that screen. So the first thing you want to do is write down what your liquid int is. For main menu, you want to go down to Setup, Sensor, Oil Table, and Edit Oil Table, start the wizard. Now the meter is going to want to ask you which index you want to edit. So the number that I wrote down before was 1265. And I know that is right in the middle of entry number 3 and 4. So why don't I use both of these to represent that liquid? So that's going to be entries number 3 and number 4. So let's start with number 3. And what I could do is I could even bump this up a little bit. It's at 1200. I don't know. I can go to 1260, which is pretty close to 1265. I can leave that alone. And the next thing I want to change is my reference density. Now this is kilograms per cubic meter. So you're going to have to do the conversion to know what to put here. All right, for sake of argument, let's say we know that after I convert API to kilograms per cubic meter, the number should be 750. So I'll go in here. And I'll put in 750. I could go down to these coefficients. Well, my coefficients depend on what product is in the line. Let's say, for instance, we have diesel in the line. You're going to want to write down this number for K0. So for diesel, this will be my K0, and this one will be my K1. So I'm going to want to go in here and change the number to 186.9696. Then I'm going to want to go into K1 and change that to 0.4862. Those are the two numbers I wrote down from before for diesel. You don't have to worry about coefficient K2, So right here, you want to go next. And the oil table was successfully updated. Now I want to go back in here because remember, we decided that we were going to do 3 and 4. And the reason we do 2 points instead of 1 per product type is to account for any variations that we're going to have in our liquidant, which is our corrected sound speed. So basically I'm going to go into 4 now. And our target liquidant was 1265. So we could lower this a little bit. We can make it, I don't know, we can make it 12, I don't know, 1273. That's good. And remember, if you have liquids that are very close to one another in sound speed, you may want to tighten up on this range a little bit. And then you're just going to do the same thing. You're going to put in the density that you calculated from before and put in your coefficients based on liquid type. And when you're done here, you hit next. If you did anything out of order, you're going to want to sort the oil table first, but we didn't do that, so I'm just going to save the oil table here and I'll be done. And that's pretty much it. If you need to get the cheat sheets that I have, well, they're in the manual, first of all, but I do have a spreadsheet that kind of simplifies this for you, and you can email me. Just go ahead and email me at robert.musano@siemens.com, and I'll give you a nice little spreadsheet that I made that simplifies this process. The spreadsheet that I made even gives you recommendations for your low liquidant number and your high liquidant number. That's it.